Hey guys, it's Diane from Diane Hockman, and I want to record a training today in response to a question that somebody asked me. And you may or may not like this training. I'll be frank, because it's going to sound so elementary, and most people are looking for a specific step. And I know now in perspective, I used to get really frustrated and angry at some of the trainers that I studied, simply because I was looking for them to give me something specific, and it seemed like they were fluffing me. So if you perceive this training as fluff, it's really because of the stage you're at in your business development. And I want you to get ticked off at me, feel free, and then come back again in a month or so, and a month after that, and see if it starts to take form and make sense for you. So this particular person was asking me for a specific step-by-step approach to recruiting someone, okay? And the company that I'm working with has a launch going on overseas, so they're looking for what do I do, okay? And if you've trained with me for any period of time, you know what I'm going to say. And if you haven't yet, grab a pen, because this is what you want to focus on. It's not what do I do. It's how do I think, okay? You need to stop asking the question, what do I do, okay? Because every time you ask that question, you're literally setting yourself up for failure. You're like, wait a minute, Diane, how can I be setting myself up for failure? I just wish somebody would tell me what to do. Well, here's what the problem is. If I tell you what to do and I give you something specific, you're going to become just like the rest of these people running around the internet that look like putzes. Have you gotten those canned letters? They're clearly copied and pasted. Have you seen the people posting on Facebook their company statistics, they're this, they're that? They're parrots, because they're doing what they were told to do. And they're literally being harnessed by somebody that's using them to drive traffic back to their business. So if you want to learn how to build a team, how to build a business, how to be a great network marketer, affiliate marketer, internet marketer, this day forward, you have to start focusing on how do I think. So here's the deal. When we're dealing with a prospect, what we're thinking about is what they want, what they're thinking, what their needs are, okay? If we're approaching someone and we're showing them something, or maybe asking them for referrals, there is no specific procedure, like do I give them the webinar, do I give them this, do I give them that? And that's simply because I can't tell you what the procedure is, because I'm not part of the conversation. You have to start to listen to your prospect and determine what's the best course of action with them. And don't be fearful, because your job here is to help them, okay, not close them, not get them. So if you're talking to someone and you say, for example, if your company's expanding or something, and this could apply to any of you, because you might be I'm in Connecticut and I might be looking to expand in North Carolina, even though the company's not new or something. And I say to someone, hey, do you know anyone in North Carolina that's looking to earn some extra income? My company is expanding there, and I have some stuff, do you know anyone? And they go, well, what is it? Okay, because that's what they're almost always going to ask, because they're afraid, their ego's also kicking in. They're afraid, just like you, of showing something to everybody that they know without knowing what it is. And then you go, it's a great opportunity in blank, health and wellness, silver coins, this and that, whatever. And then you say, well, why don't I send you over the link about it in case you know anyone? It would really help me out, okay? So should you give them the link or the webinar or this or that? It depends. I mean, if you say, do you know anyone in North Carolina? I'm looking for people in North Carolina. My company's expanding there. And they go, I don't know anyone. Obviously, you're not going to give them anything, okay? They're not receptive, okay? We're not going to try to convince them, etc. We're sorting. If the person says, what is it? Then you have the opening to go, well, let me send you over this link. Maybe you know someone, okay? And if the person gets real excited or real interested, of course we're putting them on a webinar. Of course we're putting them on a video, a presentation, or whatever. It depends on how the person is reacting and behaving. You want to behave like a consultant, and you want to behave like a networker where you're getting referrals. If you were a doctor, you wouldn't walk up to somebody and go, would you like surgery today? That would be bizarre. okay? But you might say, I'm just getting my practice off the ground. Can I give you some cards in case you know anybody that's looking for, whatever it is you do? And that's how doctors start out. In fact, I'm friends here in town with a dentist. He's new to town. He found me on the internet and wanted to know about social media and stuff. And he's networking. He's in a BNI group. He's in different networking and marketing groups. He doesn't walk into his weekly networking group and go, would you like a root canal? Would you like a root canal? It would be bizarre. And he doesn't go, do you know anybody who has a root canal? Send him to this webinar. So I want you to start behaving like a professional. You're looking, you're sorting, you're meeting people, you're building relationships with people. You're not, quote unquote, getting people, okay? The questions start to go away when you start to really understand and think about your prospect. When you're in an ego state where you're thinking about not messing up, okay, because that's what we do. We worry about, I don't want to mess up. When you're in that state of, I don't want to be embarrassed because I don't want to mess up, that's when you mess up. When you're in the state of, how can I find something win-win between me and this person? I'm looking for people in South Africa. Jackie Gates, I'm using Jackie, who's a friend of mine who's not involved in my primary business. If my company were expanding to South Africa, I'd call Jackie and I'd say, Jackie, who do you know who might be interested? Okay, I wouldn't try to get Jackie. And then if Jackie said, oh, I know Sally, or this one or that one, I'd say, hey, do you want me to give the link? You can pass it along, or do you want to just, what's the best thing for your friend? So talk to people like they're people. Talk to them like you'd want to be spoken to. And really think about, how to just be cool. I don't mean cool like Fonzie, okay? I just mean cool. You get to talk to a lot of people when you're chill, and have relationships with a lot of people when you're chill. When you become this big, I got to get you recruiter, they shut down. They won't let you near their friends. They won't send out your link for you, etc. So I know it's frustrating, but there is no right or wrong answer about what the procedure is. And I know this goes against what you're being told, a lot of you at different companies and different entities. I know you're being told to, this is how you do it. But in the end, the largest marketers, the way they do it is they talk to people, and they get to know people, and they share with people. That's it. That's it. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's this. You just have to jump into the pool and swim. Okay? Jump into the pool and swim. The way you learn. How do you learn how not to ride a bike? By riding a bike and falling down. Okay? And then in the end, what happens is you pop out riding a bike. How do you learn not how to drive when you screw up and you get a ticket, or God forbid you have an accident when you're a kid? We all learned not how to drive before we learned how to drive. Okay? You have to learn how to not prospect before you can learn how to prospect. And prospecting is all about the people, the relationships. And remember, we always want to collect and capture people's identities as much as possible. So if you talk to someone, one of the best routes of action is to say, hey, do you know anyone in XYZ? My company is expanding there. And then they go, I might know some people. I go, hey, is it okay if I put you in my newsletter? And then when I send out stuff, if you see something that might interest some of your friends, please do me a favor and forward it. That's a great way to get somebody into your hopper, okay? Really cool, really chill, without the expectation of getting them in particular. And here's my quote of the week I put up the other day. I don't think everybody's my prospect. I really don't. But I think that everybody knows somebody who is my prospect. So I want everybody to know what I'm doing so they can refer to me. So I hope that helps the person who asked this question. I hope it helps everybody else. Just relax and talk to the people, get to know them, serve them, and share information as warranted. By the way, if you want more training, you can get it at Diane at DianeHochman.com.